A Jacksonville man who spent 42 years in prison for a murder he did not commit has just passed away. Clifford Williams was 80 years old. He'd been a free man for the past 5 years. This photo is from the day he was released. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker spoke with his loved ones and with the former state senator who pushed the legislation to compensate Williams for his wrongful conviction.
Humble, loving, and never bitter. That's despite what he's been through. People who knew Clifford Williams Jr. say he deserved more.
I was blessed to have him in my life as well as his family, his wife.
Dana Miller got to spend the last 5 years with Williams, his godfather, and knew him before he was free.
When did you first meet him?
I met Mr. Williams I met him in prison. He was like a father figure to me. He taught me how to do time as far as respecting myself and respecting others.
What was it like, the two of you being in prison at the same time?
He stayed in the law library, fighting his case, trying to find loopholes of getting out. Because he was wrongly convicted.
In May 1976, 2 women were shot, one of them killed at a Newtown apartment. The surviving woman identified Williams and his nephew as the shooter. This was the only evidence produced at the trial. A review by the state attorney's office integrity unit found crucial evidence was ignored, and the man who murdered the woman confessed.
You would think that he would be bitter, but he never talked about that. He always talked about but God with a big grin on his face.
It was right here at the Duval County Courthouse in 2019 when a judge freed him. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, the average time spent in prison for those wrongfully convicted on death row is 8 years. Well, Williams spent 5 times that, 42 years. Think about how long that is and how some would consider him lucky because he got out.
Gosh. He survived. Maybe it was because he wasn't bitter and because he knew he was telling the truth.
Former state senator Audrey Gibson says she's devastated to learn of Williams' passing.
That must have been a relief for you?
In a sense it was, because I hadn't did nothing.
In 2020, Gibson spoke with News4Jax anchor Joy Purdy about filing the claims bill for Williams to be compensated for his time in prison.
What did you immediately start thinking of? Because you did a lot of work to help out in this case.
I just thought how unfair it is that a person's been pretty much half of their life incarcerated for something that they did not do. I want him to be the symbol of what we need to do to make sure that we don't incarcerate people willy-nilly without the correct information.
They say to remember him as the man who forgave the horrendous wrong done to him and as a man who was happy in his freedom. In Jacksonville, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Marilyn. Williams' funeral arrangements are on your screen. A viewing will be held Friday from 5 to 7 at C.L. Page Mortuary on Moncrief Road. The funeral is Saturday morning at 11 o'clock at Mount Bethel Baptist Church on Helena Street. As remarkable as it is that Mr. Williams was released from the bondage of prison because of the efforts of the state attorney's conviction integrity unit, even more remarkable, Joy, in my belief, is that he was able to free himself from the bondage of bitterness, setting an example for everyone who hears his story.
It really was fascinating to sit down with him one-on-one in 2020, the next year after his release. I still keep in touch with a family member of his who understandably didn't want to comment about his death at this time. But when I sat down with Clifford Williams, I really could not get over just how happy-go-lucky his demeanor was. And one of his praises he had in his life once he got out involved his prostate cancer diagnosis. By the time I sat down with him, he was about to celebrate being cancer-free for a year. This was the same cancer that Williams said killed his 4 brothers, all while he was in prison. So he missed saying goodbye, and he was just so focused on being thankful that he survived. It was incredible to talk to him.
And we are so privileged to meet people like Mr. Williams and to be able to tell their stories to all of you.